Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit BillHowe.com. And by the Conrad Trebas Foundation, Darlene Marcos Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Maya C. The San Diego City Auditor is out with a new report on the Fire Rescue Department's response times. KPBS Metro reporter Andrew Bowen says the department is not meeting its goals.
The audit examined responses to medical emergencies, not wildfires, and it did not focus on travel time or how long it takes a fire engine to get through traffic and reach the scene. Instead, the report looked at turnout time. Once a call is received, how long does it take a firefighter to suit up and reach the fire engine? City Auditor Andy Hanau said the department changed its policy in 2019 to avoid sending out crews unnecessarily.
There is a trade-off with that system. It preserves resources, as they pointed out. It also slows the response to medical emergencies.
The City Firefighters Union criticized the audit's methodology and said the city can reduce response times by building more fire stations. Patrick Ferrier is on the union's executive board. He said the protocol was changed to reduce firefighter fatigue.
It's really important that if we can, through appropriate triaging, make the right calls for both the public and to keep our responders in top shape for a 30-year career. Those are things that we should definitely take into consideration.
Internally, we've discussed.
The Fire Rescue Department agreed to implement the audit's recommendations, which include closer monitoring and reporting of response time data. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
Well, the heat wave has ended, thankfully. We're a lot cooler out there, but we will be breezy, and actually some rain showers will be approaching for at least late in the day on Tuesday into Tuesday night. Right now, we're dealing with readings in the low 50s for our late night low temperature forecast into Ramona and Mount Laguna. 63 later tonight. San Diego, we're going to see some low clouds return, especially near the coast. And the wind advisory picks up Tuesday evening. It'll be running through Wednesday until 11 p.m. Winds picking up in the canyons and passes. Details ahead.
On Saturday, millions of people attended protests and marches around the country for the third No Kings Day since President Trump took office. KPBS Public Matters host and reporter Jake Gata says the message at the protest in downtown San Diego was about the importance of standing together.
San Diegans took to the streets over the weekend to say no to King's authoritarianism and the Trump administration. More than a year into Trump's second term, thousands of people continue to show up for these protests. Speakers before the march at Waterfront Park made sure to remind the crowd why they are protesting.
When members of my community are abducted and thrown in the back of unmarked vehicles, when children witness their fathers be pinned down by masked men and wives are running up and down the street looking for their husbands, we receive those frantic phone calls.
Alondra Alvarez is with the community group Universidad Popular, whose mission of empowering immigrants became one of protecting them as well in the last year.
Not a day goes by that we don't get these phone calls. Families shattered, community members abducted and imprisoned. We find legal representation for them at Otay Detention Center. We visit them. We deliver food to their doorsteps. We have dinners together. We break bread together and hear their sorrows. We take them to the hospital because they do not call 911. They call us. We have become first responders in our community.
County Supervisor Tara Lawson-Raymer also spoke at the waterfront, and she shared the message of resistance.
I know that sometimes it seems so scary and so dark, and it is. But I also know that we will prevail. We will prevail here in San Diego County and across our country because there's hundreds of thousands of us standing up and saying, hell no. Hell no.
and Christian Ramirez from the Service Employees International Union spoke about the importance of solidarity.
The color of my skin is enough to make me a criminal in this country. And we have seen that no longer it's just the color of your skin, but if you stand up, if you observe, if you question, your life is in peril. We're standing for something that is even much more beautiful. We're standing up for one another. This is what democracy looks like. This is the beauty of our land.
Jake Gata, KPBS News.
Meanwhile, Birthright citizenship will take center stage at the Supreme Court this week. President Trump is trying to change it with an executive order. He doesn't want it to apply to babies born in the U.S. to undocumented immigrants. Critics say the change would be logistically challenging, as U.S. citizens could end up having to document their children's immigration status. The Supreme Court will hear the case Wednesday. President Donald Trump's threats to Iran's energy infrastructure sent oil prices spiking today, and fears of further escalation are hitting Americans harder at the gas pumps to start the week. Karen Kafa has the latest from Washington.
The White House Monday downplaying fears of further escalation after President Donald Trump's threat to, quote, take the oil in Iran and strikes against Israel by Iran-backed Houthi rebels.
Talks are continuing and going well. What is said publicly is, of course, much different than what's being communicated to us privately.
But fears of a longer conflict prompted another jump in global oil prices Monday.
It takes time for for this kind of a shock to play out into the market.
According to AAA, the average U.S. gas price edged up to $3.99 Monday, the highest since 2022. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said it's still too soon for the central bank to gauge how the conflict, now in its fifth week, will impact the overall U.S. economy and inflation.
We will eventually maybe face the question of what to do here. We're not really facing it yet because we don't know what the economic effect.
Well, here is a quick look at our local gas prices today. The average cost of a gallon of regular gas in San Diego County is inching closer to $6 at $5.95. That is up about 8 cents since last week and $1.25 more than just a month ago. TSA workers who have been working without pay during the partial government shutdown are seeing some much-needed financial relief. Some TSA officers have already received paychecks for the first time in more than 40 days following President Trump's executive action Friday. It orders TSA workers to be paid immediately. Union leaders say workers received 2 full paychecks, but many are still missing chunks of a third paycheck.
Although they did receive some back pay, officers still haven't received their full payment amount owed to them. And then there's still a question of, although we received back pay, will we be continuing to get pay?
The union says workers are still trying to recover from the last government shutdown in October. They say based on other shutdowns, it can take weeks, sometimes more than a month, for workers to receive all their back pay. Lawmakers remain at an impasse on DHS funding. Meanwhile, here is a check of TSA lines at San Diego International Airport. As of 4 p.m., the average wait time for passengers moving through security checkpoints was 15 minutes. Airport officials told our media partner KGTV, you're going to want to arrive at the airport about 2.5 hours before your flight. But with paychecks on the way for TSA workers, relief for travelers may too be on the way soon.
It's unfortunate. These people are working very hard. We need to get them paid. We've gotten them paid. I believe that paychecks are coming tomorrow, so you just wonder how long, what's the delay? Are there people that have already found new jobs? Not sure what's going to be going on, but yeah, I'm just hopeful of the situation, and this is, right now I'm just trying to make my flight.
Also important to keep in mind what the busiest times are to fly when planning your trip. If you're departing bright and early, the busiest travel times at San Diego International are between 6 and 8 a.m. If you leave later, business starts to pick up around 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then again from 5 to 7 in the evening.
I'm Amna Nawaz. Tonight on the NewsHour, President Trump threatens to obliterate Iran's energy facilities in the ongoing war. That's coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Now, the brush fire that broke out last night in Santee was human-caused, and that is according to the city's deputy fire chief. The fire started in the San Diego riverbed behind Santee Town Center at around 6:30. Authorities evacuated people from the shopping center. The fire has since been put out. The Santee Fire Department conducted a preliminary investigation and were not able to determine the ignition source, but the fire began near the interior of the riverbed. As San Diego County officials consider major reforms and tax measures, supervisors are meeting behind closed doors. For this week's edition of Why It Matters, Voice of San Diego Scott Lewis explains how officials have been skirting transparency requirements.
For months, county supervisors have met in secret subcommittees to discuss how to respond to the federal cuts that are coming and Tijuana's sewage crisis. Only one of the board's subcommittees, though, has invited the public to watch. We learned about another group of supervisors referred to as the Fiscal Sustainability Subcommittee. It ended up hiring a team of well-known local campaign consultants and pollsters to help it gauge support for tax increases. And they also put out a bid for other consultants that were going to lobby the state to make it easier to raise taxes. After an outcry, county staff leaders canceled that effort. The county says these secret subcommittees are not official board meetings or committee meetings and do not need to follow the state's open meeting law known as the Brown Act. Longtime public transparency advocate David Loy says the county is getting close to crossing the line of meetings that should be public but are not.
It does present serious concerns, and I think the county should be concerned. And there's nothing to stop the board from erring on the side of transparency and treating these committees as covered by the Brown Act. And I understand that may be less convenient. Transparency isn't always efficient or convenient. But we have a Brown Act for a reason.
After that state lobbying contract was killed, county staff agreed to summarize what happens in subcommittees for other supervisors. But board approval is not required for contracts under $2 million, and those could still happen. The county is undergoing a major overhaul of how it works and is considering tax increases and much more. Much of it is still being done behind closed doors. But the ideas that emerge from those conversations will affect residents. I'm Scott Lewis for Voice San Diego, and that's why it matters.
Voice of San Diego is one of our partners for the Public Matters Initiative. You can learn more at kpbs.org/Public Matters. A new exhibit at the USS Midway Museum highlights the experiences of prisoners of war during the Vietnam War. KPBS Military and Veterans Affairs reporter Andrew Dyer says some of them flew off that very ship.
I was a POW in Vietnam for 7 months of the last 7 months of the war.
Captain Jack Ench was one of 11 naval aviators from the USS Midway to be shot down and captured by North Vietnamese forces during the Vietnam War. A new exhibit at the Midway Museum honors those 11 and all POWs from the war. March 29th is National Vietnam War Veterans Day. The museum held its ceremony today. Kathy Ench was home in San Diego when Jack went missing. She says the Military Family Support Network wasn't what it is today, and things were difficult for her and their 7-year-old daughter.
She didn't think she'd ever see her daddy again, and there was no counseling available at all. I was on my own.
The new exhibit takes visitors through squadron ready rooms. Those were the last places aircrews saw before they left on missions. There's a separate area dedicated to the Midway's own 11 POWs. Jack credits his wife and other spouses of POWs for getting their stories out while they were held captive.
I think a lesson can be learned is that how important the family is to those of us who are out there fighting the war.
The USS Midway Museum is open daily, including the new POW exhibit. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
A sci-fi blockbuster, Project Hail Mary, takes off in theaters. NASA's Artemis II mission is about to launch. It's been more than 50 years since NASA sent humans to the moon, but come Wednesday, 4 astronauts are set to journey around the moon once again. Maribel Gonzalez has more on this moon mission.
The first woman, the first person of color, and the first Canadian are among the 4 people who will soon step aboard a spacecraft and travel around the moon. Now, as we prepare to watch them blast off, a recent Hollywood film is depicting just how important it is for science to continue pushing the boundaries.
I put the knot in astronaut. I've never done anything. I've never done a spacewalk. I can't even moonwalk.
Ryan Gosling, or Ryland Grace in Project Hail Mary, is a science teacher tasked with saving the world by leaving it and traveling to outer space. The sci-fi film hit theaters on March 20th, just ahead of a highly anticipated real-life space mission, Artemis 2.
The movie provided a catalyst for bringing people together who might not ordinarily think about science.
This week, 4 astronauts will step aboard a spacecraft for the first human moon mission in more than half a century.
Stay for as long as it can.
This time making a 10-day voyage around the moon without landing on it.
Artemis 2, in the days ahead, will send NASA and a CSA astronaut into the lunar environment, the first crewed step of the Artemis program to pick up where Gene, Harrison, and Ronald left off on Apollo 17.
Artemis 2 will take humans farther than they have ever traveled from Earth.
They're going to actually look at the dark side of the moon. They'll be there for 3 or 4 hours looking for places where eventually there might be landings on the moon.
One small step for what's to come for the future of space travel.
Do not go back to the moon just for the footprints and the flags. You must pick up where we left off more than a half century ago. Build the moon base, create an enduring presence.
It was December 1972 when humans last traveled beyond low Earth orbit. Now, Artemis 2 could launch as early as Wednesday at 6:24 p.m. local time from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Reporting in Los Angeles, I'm Maribel Gonzalez.
It's an annual tradition that you may or may not look forward to, spring cleaning. It's a way to refresh your space, remove dust, and get things tidy and organized. But experts say it can also give your mental health a boost. Mandy Gaither explains.
So long, winter. Spring has sprung. But if breaking out the vacuum for a new season refresh doesn't sound tempting, there's another reason to do it. It's good for your brain.
Instead of labeling cleaning as a chore, reframe it as an act of self-care.
Clinical psychologist Susan Alberts with Cleveland Clinic says having a tidy space can actually boost a person's mood. She says it's been shown to improve sleep, concentration, and energy levels while decreasing stress and anxiety.
Cleaning provides immediate, visible, and tangible results, which our brain loves. It likes to see evidence of success. This in turn releases dopamine into the body, the pleasure neurotransmitter.
But if your motivation is lacking, Albert says to start small. Try tidying your desk, which could also include digital decluttering, closing out emails, cleaning off your computer's home screen, and avoiding distractions by muting alerts until you're done. If you feel your cleaning momentum begin to shift, Albert says to move on to your bedroom.
Just cleaning your bedroom and making your bed has been shown in studies to improve your sleep by 19%.
Then she says to focus on high traffic areas, the most used spaces in your home.
This is going to help to reduce the stress and conflict in the family. When these high traffic areas are filled with clutter, they create stress for everyone.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
After a hot month of March, cooler air has returned here as we close out the month, and we're going to be dealing with a breezy setup. There will be some showers of rain that roll back in late Tuesday into Tuesday night. A big change for us after a prolonged hot, dry spell. Low clouds will be with us over the next several nights near the coastline. So tonight, mostly cloudy. Cloudiest near the coast, 63 your expected low. And Tuesday during the day, you can see the heat's trimmed back into the deserts of Arizona for the most part. We'll be dealing with the advance of a disturbance that'll bring some showers into our direction late in the day. During the day itself, mainly cloudy skies, holding on, 70 for your high in San Diego. And instead of the sweltering warmth that we had, at least sweltering on March standards, we're back down to 81 in Borrego Springs, 70 in Ramona, Mount Laguna 52. Watch this as some showers roll in here. Tuesday, we start off dry, but locally, we'll be getting ready for the return of some showers late Tuesday evening, maybe even at the late afternoon hour time frame, 5, 6, 7 p.m. We'll see some showers around, but the rain will become more likely Tuesday night, just for a time. Overall, wind advisories are in effect here for the interior parts of San Diego County. Will be breezy still through Wednesday. Wind advisory continuing for the mountains there. The main batch of showers scoots east, bring some rain showers and some mountain snow into the interior southwest. And on Thursday, we're dry. and still cool, with rain and some mountain snow staying way to our north, at least at that point by Thursday and Friday. So the coastal forecast, you can see clouds roll in, and again, there will be some showers around Tuesday night. But daytime weather mainly cloudy. Daytime weather Wednesday, mostly cloudy. The best chance for showers will be late Tuesday evening into the overnight hours. Thursday, a lot of low clouds lurking. Temperatures much lower. It'll get a little warmer out there for Saturday, a Saturday warm-up. Inland areas, here we are with clouds. Rain showers roll through Tuesday night after a mainly cloudy Tuesday. Wednesday, showers exit to the east early in the day, so we'll be dealing with intermittent clouds, low clouds for Thursday, and an improving forecast for Friday, and then we really warm back up in a big way come Saturday. In the mountains, look at the temperature changes here. Much cooler for a couple of days. Could be some showers Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning again. Mostly cloudy Thursday. Temperatures on the chilly side through Friday, and then a big warming trend into the weekend there as well. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jeff Cornish, and before I totally close this out here for KPBS News, I do want to take us into the deserts here because here we're going to be mainly drier. A couple of sprinkles and showers Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, and then a big warm-up for Saturday. So now it's time to say goodbye. So I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Jeff Cornish for KPBS News.
A Rancho Penasquitos woman is turning family recipes into a growing business, and it's all from her own kitchen. Through a program that allows residents to sell food from home, she's now sharing traditional Salvadoran dishes with her community. KPBS video journalist Carlos Castillo visited Love Pupusas to show us more.
I've had people doing a happy dance when they try my food.
And then we flatten it. And then now straight to the griddle. This is all we need. We just need the griddle.
I'm originally from El Salvador, and we've been cooking pupusas for the family, for friends. Love Pupusas is basically the love of making pupusas, a traditional dish from El Salvador. Pupusas is, first of all, I make them with corn flour, and we flatten it like a tortilla. We stuff it with meat or vegetables and cheese.
Zucchini, and then we have the cilantro and cheese, chicharrón, beans, and then revueltas.
And each pupusa is then cooked on the griddle. It looks like a tortilla, but it's inside it has all the different ingredients.
A micro-enterprise home kitchen operation, also known as a MICO, is a type of food facility that allows people to sell food directly from their home kitchens. No need for commercial equipment. A lot of people are using this as a stepping stone into the food industry.
I've been cooking pupusas with my mom, and she's always been there in the kitchen with me.
¿Cómo se llamaba el comal que usted tenía? ¿Era de barro?
Just cooking with her and just learning her recipes is just one of the journeys that I really have enjoyed. The joy of cooking with her, any pupusas or any other dishes, is just being with her. It's just what just brings me joy.
Mira, ponerle más fuego porque como está abierta la ventana.
From cooking for the family, cooking for friends, and here we are, just cooking for the community, just making them from home. It's more authentic. It's just that touch of love that we put into what we cook. The curtido. It's just a combination of flavors, combination with the salad and the salsa. It's just very delicious. Every bite you take is just an explosion of different flavors.
Wow. It's giving people the opportunity to pursue entrepreneurship in a way that's accessible. It's a way to share their culture and connect with their community members is really valuable.
I would never even think that, just be able to do this for, as a business. I love cooking. That's my passion. Being able to do it from home is such a blessing, being able to spend time with my mom. She's 88. And being able to share her recipes, being able to share time with her, it's very precious. So she has her little corner where she can stand and get the support from, the back. Loves to cook. She still likes to cook with me. I'm so happy and blessed to be able to do that. She wouldn't be able to do it if I have a food truck.
Muy contenta de que ella le ha gustado hacer esto.
Well, I know exactly how she likes them, and sometimes she goes, un poquitito más.
Así como dicen.
Very proud of myself, very blessed to be able to do this. And salsa on top. doing anything together with the family, with the siblings, with the grandkids, and with your mom is just makes it even more special.
What a wonderful story by KPBS video journalist Carlos Castillo there. And that program is part of what's known as a micro kitchen, also known as a MICO. Advocates say it's helping create new opportunities for small businesses across the county. If you want to find out more about the MICO program, then you can visit us at kpbs.org. And here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom. Public school teachers across California have long taught Cesar Chavez's contributions to the labor movement. NPR's Morning Edition examines how they're revising those lessons in light of sexual assault allegations. And elephants have moved into a new home at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park. KPBS Midday Edition talks to the park's VP of Wildlife Care about all of those upgrades. You can find all of tonight's stories right there on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Have a great evening.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 40 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.